In a world drowning in color, Leica dares to dream in shadows. While others chase the vibrant and the vivid, Leica returns to the roots of expression, to where light meets form and emotion whispers through grain. The Leica Q3 Monochrom, if real, could be the brand's next bold act in a timeless saga. A camera that doesn't just see the world, but feels it. Leica's Monochrom series has always stood as a quiet rebellion, a rebellion against saturation, against compromise. And now, with rumors circling about a Q3 Monochrom on the horizon, we're left with a question that lingers like the afterglow of silver halide. Is this camera just for purists, or a turning point every photographer should notice? Before we explore what this upcoming Q3 Monochrom could become, if you're passionate about the craft behind the lens and want to be first in line for the future of photography, consider subscribing to Alt Buzz. We bring the whispers before the waves. Let's dive into the soul of black and white. It all began with a statement, not of technology, but of philosophy. The original M Monochrom, released in 2012, was met with confusion by some, but reverence by others. No color, no compromise. It spoke to artists who longed for purity, not only in output, but in the very experience of capturing light. And it wasn't just about nostalgia, it was about intention. Every frame meant something because it had to. Then came the Q2 Monochrom, sleeker, smarter, but still unapologetically dedicated. It brought the monochrome spirit to a new generation, pairing Leica's fixed Summilux lens with a full-frame monochrome sensor that delivered detail and tonal subtlety few cameras could rival. It wasn't just a black and white filter, it was a declaration. We don't emulate monochrome, we are monochrome. Now imagine what comes next. If Leica follows its lineage, the Q3 Monochrom won't just be another Q3 with desaturated colors. It will likely carry a newly tuned monochrome sensor, one possibly inspired by the Q3's 60-megapixel architecture, but re-engineered for one purpose: black and white perfection. Without a color filter array standing in the way, each pixel receives light unfiltered and undiluted. The result? Sharper images, cleaner lines, and a depth that speaks not in color, but in character. Think smoother tonal transitions, from coal black to soft ash gray. Think of shadows that breathe, highlights that don't shout, but sing. And then there's the magic of low light. With no Bayer array to steal photons, monochrome sensors excel in the dark. Night street scenes, candlelit portraits, misty landscapes before dawn, all rendered with nuance and drama, without the noise you'd expect from color sensors. This camera, if it mirrors the Q3's base, will likely retain the best parts of that design, but elevate them with a darker edge. Imagine it, a matte black finish with no bright red logo, no markings screaming Leica, just the subtle confidence of craftsmanship, like a sculpture carved for discretion, not display. In the hand, the Q3 Monochrom would feel reassuring, familiar yet refined, a unibody chassis, intuitive controls, a tilting LCD screen that vanishes into the backplate, and the viewfinder, perhaps the same high-resolution OLED EVF we saw in the Q3, delivering clarity so precise it feels like looking through time itself. But this isn't just a camera, it's a workflow designed around black and white storytelling. You don't shoot raw and slap on a preset, you shoot intentionally. With the Q3 Monochrom, we expect the return of pure monochrome JPEGs straight out of camera. Files that carry Leica's tonal science, optimized without the clutter of color data. Street photographers will appreciate the silent leaf shutter, the fast of 1.7 lens, and most of all, the confidence of seeing in black and white while shooting in it. Real-time histogram feedback, dynamic range optimization built for grayscale gradients, zone focusing made simple. No distractions, just instinct. The Q3 Monochrom could become the go-to companion for documentarians, journalists, and artists who want to eliminate the noise, both visually and mentally, and focus only on the essentials: light, shape, moment. If Leica remains loyal to the rhythm of its past, we can look to the Q2 Monochrom for clues. The original Q2 launched in early 2019. Its monochrome sibling emerged about a year and a half later, in late 2020. The Q3, having arrived in mid-2023, gives us a hint. If patterns hold, the Q3 Monochrom might silently emerge from the shadows by mid to late 2025. But with Leica, timing is never just about competition or release cycles. It's about refinement, patience. Each model is released not when the market demands it, but when the craft is ready. So while the Q3 Monochrom is still in the realm of speculation, the clockwork of Leica's legacy suggests its arrival is more a question of when, not if. Now let's talk about the price of purity. If we peer back into Leica's pricing history, we know this won't be a budget option. The Q2 Monochrom launched at around $5,900, and that was before inflation and Leica's ever-climbing exclusivity. Given the Q3's advanced tech, new internals, and the cost of developing a specialized monochrome sensor, it's fair to expect a price between $6,000 and $6,500. Yes, it's a lot, but Leica was never designed to chase the mass market. It's not about affordability, it's about aspiration. For those who get it, that price isn't outrageous. It's righteous. Because what you're paying for isn't just a camera. It's the feeling of holding time in your hands. It's the confidence that every image you take was seen exactly as you intended, with no distractions, no filters, no second guessing. This rumored Q3 Monochrom won't be for everyone. It never was meant to be. And maybe that's the point. Leica's monochrome line is more than a product category. It's a quiet devotion, a declaration that photography doesn't need to shout in color to leave an impact. That sometimes the loudest stories are told in shadows and light, not hues and saturation. There's something unspoken that happens when you shoot in black and white. It forces you to see differently, to look for texture, contrast, geometry, to slow down, to compose with intent. In a world of fast scrolls and fleeting reels, a monochrome image lingers. It asks you to feel, not just glance. And that's what makes the rumored Q3 Monochrom so exciting. Not because it's flashy or spec-heavy or new, but because it might be the most focused camera in an era of distraction. Imagine stepping out onto a rainy street, Q3 Monochrom in hand. You lift the viewfinder to your eye. There's no temptation to boost the blues, punch the reds, or warm the shadows. All that remains is the truth, the moment, pure, unfiltered, unapologetically monochrome. It's in that moment the camera disappears and your story begins. So now we ask you, would you ever shoot in pure black and white? Would you let go of color and dive into a world where light alone tells the tale? Let us know in the comments below. We're building a community of photographers, dreamers, and visual poets who crave something deeper, and your voice adds to that vision. And if you've enjoyed this journey through speculation, legacy, and artistic reverence, we'd be honored if you joined us. Tap the like button, leave your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to Alt Buzz. We live for the future of photography and the stories that haven't yet been told. If you'd like to support our channel further, consider hitting the super thanks or joining as a member for exclusive deep dives, early access to upcoming rumor episodes, and direct community polls that shape what we explore next. Because here at Alt Buzz, we don't just chase the next big camera, we uncover the soul behind the sensor. Until next time, keep creating, keep dreaming, and remember, color fades, but light endures.